For my most loving pranams at the divine lotus feet for most beloved Swami. Sairam, brothers and sisters. As we continue observing the Mahasamadhi of our beloved Swami, we are indeed blessed to be joined today by one of his own students, Brother Sai Sravan Cherukuri, who is visiting us from Washington. Sai Shravan is an alumnus from Swami's Institute of Higher Learning in Puttaparthi. And his life, since his childhood, has been blessed by the great love and immense grace of our beloved Swami. And Swami continued to shower his love on Sai Shravan even after he left the portals of the Institute. He continued interacting with him on many occasions, passing on many pearls of wisdom, which he has put to use in every sphere of his life, including in the current role that he plays as the education coordinator of the South Bethesda Sai Center. He's today joined by his family who's visiting from Puttaparthi, his wife, Sister Sai Shri, and their two children, Sai Saket and Sai Kirtana. And it is Swami's will, perhaps, that his talk today will be preceded by a Vedic invocation by his children. I request you to join me in giving a very loving welcome to this blessed family.
Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om. Om Gananam Tva Ganapati Gum Havamahe Kavim Kavinam Upamashravasthavam Jeshtarajam Brahmanam Brahmanaspata Anashunvannodibesida Sadanam Prano Devi Saraswati Vajebirvajanivati Dinama Viktrayavatu Ganeshaya Namaha Saraswatyai Namaha Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om. Om Namo Bhagavate Rudraya. Om Namaste Rudramanyava Utota Ishave Namaha. Namaste Astu Danvane Bahubhyam Utate Namaha. Yata Ishu Shivatama Shivam Babhuvate Danuhu Shiva Sharavyaya Tavatayano Rudramudaya Yate Rudra Shiva Tanura Gora Papakashini Tayanastanu Vashantamaya Girishanta Bijakashihi Yamishum Girishanta Haste Bivarshastave Shivam Giritratam Kurumahi Gumshi Purusham Jagata Shive Navachasa Tva Girisha Chavadamasi Yadana Sarvamid Jagadayakshma Gumsumana Asata Adyavochadadi Vakta Pratamo Daivyo Bishaka Ahiguscha Sarvam Jambayan Sarvasrayatu Danyaha Asavyastamro Aruna Utababrusu Mangalaha Ye Chema Gum Rudra Bito Dikshashita Sahasasho Vaisha Gum Heda Imahe Asovayasta Sattvanuham Tebhyo Akaranamaha Pramunchadanvanasavayoratniyodhyam Yaschate Hasta Ishavah Parata Bhagavo Vapa Avatatyadanustvagum Sahasrakshashate Shude Nishirya Shalyana Mukha Shivona Sumana Bhava Vijjam Danuka Pardino Vishalyo Banavagum Uta Anishan Nasheshava Aburasya Nishangatihi Yate Hete Midushtamahaste Babhuvate Danuhu Tayasman Vishwatasvamayakshmaya Paribhuja Om Namaste Astvayudaya Natadaya Drishnave Ubabhyam Utate Namo Bahubhyam Tavadanvane Parite Danvano Hetilasman Vrinaktu Vishwataha Atoya Ishidislavare Asman Nidehitam ॐ नमस्ते अस्तु भगवन् विश्वेश्वराय महादेवाय त्रयम्बकाय त्रिपुरान्तकाय त्रिकाग्निकालाय कालाग्निरुद्राय नीलकण्ठाय मृत्युञ्जयाय सर्वेश्वराय सदाशिवाय श्रीमन्महादेवाय नमः। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः।
Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om. Offering my humble pranams at the divine lotus feet of Bhagwan Baba. Respected elders, my dear brothers and sisters, Sai Ram. Sai Ram. Very nice. One more time, Sai Ram. Very nice. At the outset, I would like to thank the committee for inviting me and letting me share some of my thoughts and experiences with Swami. And at the same time, I would like to thank especially two individuals who have been literally breathing behind my shoulders for making this event. One is, of course, Sundar, brother Sundar, and one was Shashi, and who had been asking me from many years, I would say, but Swami finally put the card in place, and I'm here today. I would like to thank one more time both of you. And also today I would like to thank Chandra Nair and Lata Nair for navigating me nicely, comfortably, and bringing me safe on time, which is important. Of course, Brother Sundar was a little nervous, I guess, when I told him I'm coming at so-and-so time. Of course, given the traffic, nobody could predict, but I would like to thank them too for bringing me safe on time. Today, as we all know, we are in the month which is very auspicious for us, and also very important. But before getting into that, I took a topic today as living with God is education, which is something very dear to me, the very topic, because every day it was a lesson for me. Sitting and spending time with Swami was so unique, and Swami has very important lessons driving home each day, day in and day out. So this is something where I'm not like read a lot of Swami's literature and got an experience or got hold of him, but having lived with him, having breathed the same air which he had, and living in the same portals where Swami had lived, and that gave an opportunity for me to learn a lot of lessons. It's not only learning, but Swami really pinpoints the lesson what he's driving home. I would say this is one of the most precious relation I had in this world. Nothing really matters to me. I would like to go back and just show a kind of bondage which was developed. I guess it is difficult to spot where I am in this picture, but this is a picture when Swami had come to my township colony where I hail from. I come from BHEL, Hyderabad. That's a city in India. And that's where I stand. That's probably a year older to my son's age now. That was the first time I got an opportunity to present a Vedic injunction to Swami. And it was, I don't know what I was reciting, but I guess a part of Sarvadharma was also recited that time. That was a huge gathering, public gathering. Swami came to the... Thank you. Okay. Swami had come to address a huge gathering in that colony, and as I was in Balvikas SSC, a group of SSC children were picked up to welcome Swami. I got this opportunity. Before actually getting onto the stage, we also got a unique opportunity to garland Swami. That was the first and last time in my life that I have garlanded Swami. I was a small kid, like the height of my son. Swami had come, and we all were expected to garland Swami. We all had huge garland. I think after a couple of years, Swami had really stopped the event of garlanding him, and he has a point, sealing on desires, because the garlands are getting really fancy and a lot of people are putting a lot of money, and he would like to cut that expenditure. He himself is a teacher. Sealing on desires is one concept we introduced, and he lived to show that he's cutting the expenditure there. So here I got an opportunity to garland Swami. I was a small boy. Swami was bending like this. I was trying to put the garland. No. Swami still was bending a little. I jumped like this to put garland. No, it was not really happening. And there was my Balvikas teacher who's trying to help me raise a little high, but I was trying kind of not happy. I want to do it all by myself. Now I see when my kids ask, can I do it all by myself? That kind of, I guess that is the kind of thing I was looking for. I was jumping again one more time to put the garland. Swami now, he realized this guy is not really giving it up or is not taking help from anybody. So he bent little more. Now it was easy for me. I just put the garland, and yes, that is the satisfaction I had. But after the discourse, the point Swami has told my Balvikas teacher, and he always reminds me till date, Swami had told him, Bhagavantuడి యొక్క అనుగ్రహానికి పునాది మానవ ప్రయత్నం, which means those people who understand Telugu, it is very sweet words. Bhagavantuడి యొక్క అనుగ్రహానికి పునాది మానవ ప్రయత్నం. Human effort is the foundation to earn God's grace. It didn't really hit me then. It was like I was a child, and what Swami was saying, I had no clue. But Swami says, put one step, I'll put 100 steps. That was the first lesson, I guess. It didn't make any sense to me then, but now in my daily life, when I'm leading a family or when I'm doing Swami's work or other work, doesn't matter, there's no distinction between Swami's work otherwise. If there is human effort, we put sincere effort, Swami is there, he walks 100 steps towards us, and he gives the helping hand, which is sometimes visible, invisible. I think we should be tuned to get or feel Swami's hand. I think this is the first lesson I picked up, and there is no questions about. We take one step, Swami puts 100 steps. I guess this is kind of a message even for Balvikas children. And I was also a child who went through Balvikas, and I know what goes through their mind. Do I have to go to Balvikas? That kind of kid I was. But nevertheless, this is the lesson. And down the line, many years I celebrated a birthday with Swami. In the sense, it's a tradition for all the students where on the day of birthday we take a tray full of candies and kind of clove, which Swami takes one or two cloves from the container. A small tray I hold filled with candies, and few compartments in that filled with sacred rice or yellow grains, and a box of cloves and a box of cardamom or things like that. Swami picks up a handful of candies and he throws it. The boys, whoever is lucky to get prasadam from Swami, they get. And it was a nice event. And the moment Swami is ready to throw, everybody's necks are craned and their hands are in action, and we try to grab, we don't let the chocolate fall on the ground, we'll try to get it in the air itself. That time, before putting the yellow grains on me, he asked me, why are you sitting here? I told Swami, it is my birthday. Then you all must have heard many times in discourse, you should always, why only today you are happy? You should be happy always. When you are with Swami, you should always be happy. And he didn't stop there. He told Swami is like a water tank. Once you are hooked up to Swami, you are hooked up to a water tank which is always pure. So whoever gets in contact with you, you should give that pure water to them. Water cannot be contaminated, because my water tank is never contaminated, and the water flowing through your tap cannot be contaminated. So this is the first lesson, I guess. The second lesson which I learned, many lessons I've learned, but I just picked up few. It probably is making more sense to me, and it is not just for students, I guess. After joining Swami's organization, it made all the more difference to me. I guess when we all come to Swami's center, it is very important that we echo his teachings. Anybody gets in contact with a Sai member, I think we should we should feel them, the love. Swamis, we are all connected to Swami. The main tank with Swami is filled with love. And once we are connected to a Sai center, that means our tap should also be very clean, filled with love, and we should echo or we should resonate Swami's love. Otherwise, I think probably down the line we are missing somewhere, and the connection between the main tank and the pipe is lost somewhere. There are some holes, maybe we need to fill that. Now it is making all the more sense, because the moment we get into a Sai center, there are so many other dimensions. We have to be, and when we interact with the outside world, it is all the more important that we resonate Swami's teachings in every walk of our life. The moment we say Sai Baba's devotees, they will keep an eye. Swami many a times told that you say that you are Sai Baba's student, Swami's student. It's very important that you follow my teachings, because whatever name you get, good or bad, it's directly coming to him. So as a students, it is top responsibility, top priority for us to make sure that we adhere to the set of rules and regulations or the expectations he had laid down. Likewise, I guess when we come to Sai Center, it is our prime responsibility to resonate Swami's teachings in our daily life, and whoever comes in contact with us, get the sweet water from the tap. Otherwise, I think, like I said, there is some gap we are missing somewhere. And this is a unique lesson to me. It makes sense even now, day in and day out. When I look back, every day was a lesson for me. Picked up so many things. Now, going back to the previous picture, my parents used to tell me in the mid-60s, when they used to travel to Puttaparthi, Prashanti, Nilayam, they used to take various modes of transportation. They used to take a bus, they used to take a train, they used to take a bullock cart, and they have to cross the Chitravati road, and to some extent they have to walk. And that walking with a lot of baggage. In the sense, my parents, when they go to Puttaparthi, they used to take a lot of cooking ware with them, because they have to stay underneath a tree, and there were not many facilities. The kind of facilities what we see today, we have canteen, we have variety of canteens, North Indian, South Indian, Western, and fruit juice, then hot tea, coffee, everything, you name it, you have deep fried items, samosas, whatever, whatnot. Everything is available. But back then, it was just Swami, nothing else. And the devotees who used to visit Prashanti Nilayam, then they have to tread their path in various forms, various modes of transportation, going through all the trials and tribulations. But their focus is Swami, so they forget all these trials and tribulations. The reason why I'm telling this is, I've never experienced that kind of, because I was a child, they used to carry me, and I had an older brother. We all used to go as a family, but then I would have experienced that, but I forgot. It's not fresh in my mind. But recently, last year, during the same time, the same month, whole world came tumbling down. It was a big shock for all of us. The world came to grinding halt, nothing else. And it was a very painful moment for all of us, the moment we heard the news. Today here we are celebrating the event, but in a different mode, that we all have to be his messengers. But when we all heard the news, I quickly decided that I should visit Swami and see and have his darshan for the last time. That is very clear. So I took the first flight the next day, and went to India. I got down in Bangalore. And to my surprise and shock, Bangalore airport was completely filled with Sai devotees and Sai devotees and Sai devotees only. And another shocking scene, very surprising scene to me, was everybody are in white and white, fresh. I don't know how they got into that kind of outfit. They were ready to go to Puttaparthi, a beam of buses, taxis, whatnot. Every mode of transportation is heading towards Puttaparthi. And I got into a private taxi. It took some time because the airport was really, really busy and everybody are wearing white and white. I got the sense of entering Prashanti Nilayam by then. Of course, everybody's face, there is pain, great pain. I was traveling tired, and more than tired, there is a pain in us, and that really drains us. But I have to really go to Puttaparthi. Finally, I got into a taxi, and the taxi took me somewhere through back roads and stopped me at least 15 kilometers away from Prashanti Nilayam. It was pitch dark. I had one suitcase with me, and pitch dark, I have no clue how to go, because Prashanti Nilayam was like, kind of had an easy pass for some of us, which go directly to Sanctum Sanctorium and sit there. We took Swami for granted. At least my case, I took him for granted, but till then it didn't really hit me what Swami is and how difficult it is to approach. And they stopped me about 10-15 kilometers away, and I have to walk. It was like about 3:30 early in the morning. It was pitch dark. I have to tread my path to Prashanti Nilayam through fields, and I have to carry my luggage. There's no light, no electricity. To walk and walk and walk. Finally, I reached at around 6 a.m. I walked about a few hours. I have no idea where I was walking, but people are walking, I'm also walking. And finally, after reaching Prashanti Nilayam, it was another eye-opener for me. Completely all roads were blocked. There was not a small ant is let inside. They've blocked all roads, only one single file which is going inside. And the file was going on and on and on. Somewhere it is very difficult probably for you to visualize the line, probably I would say from Prashanti Nilayam gate, the current gate, probably somewhere till airport. One line for gents and the other equal long line for ladies. So somehow I try to tell them that I'm an ex-student, I want to go. Nobody listens. If you're an ex-student, so what? But the point I'm telling is, it is even Swami at the last minute, he taught a lesson. To me, it made a lot of sense that when we have that intention to reach or to reach some goal, no matter how difficult it is, we don't feel the pain in it. Because you imagine after traveling from here for a few hours, 14 hours, then again walk for few hours. Then by 6:30 I was in the hall, in the Kulwant hall, and luckily I got a spot very close to Swami's box, and I was sitting all through the day up until 8 o'clock in the evening. But I have never felt any pain in my body, but all focus was on Swami, because I was very clear after this, I can never ever see Swami's physical frame in my lifetime, even if I want. So that is the last few hours of darshan. Now, when I was looking back to all these things, it is very clear in my mind that the moment we have a goal in mind, very clear goal, I think no matter what the trials and tribulations we undergo will not make any difference for us. We will go regardless of the pain. I think that is a big lesson I have picked up after recently. This is another nice conversation. This was a conversation in Brindavan, Thrai Brindavan. Swami was talking to a few boys, and he picked me up. I was here. He called me and he asked me, "What do you want?" Usually all the boys will tell Swami, "We want you. We want you." Swami will tell, "Anta stunt ra." He'll tell, "This is all a game, a stunt." So, but then he had given me this pendant, and he told, I shall ever remain in your heart. He was talking on some pretext on that. He created this, he called me, and I was also really excited, eager to see what it is. But then he told it is not so easy to win grace of God. If you win the grace of God, it is equally important that you retain it. Now a big question in my mind, how do we earn God's grace? One thing. After earning, how do we retain it? What do we do to retain that grace? These are some of the questions which always linger in my mind. And Swami had given many examples how to earn God's grace, and after earning, how to retain God's grace. Probably I would go over some of the recent Swami's instructions on the SSC, Balvika's friend. Probably when I talk to some of the Balvika's teachers or students, I would be telling more of Swami's expectations and his guidance in terms of SSC. Probably there might be some overlap here, but certainly I will try to bring more of Swami's direct teachings. Especially is this, how to win God's grace and retain it. It is not that easy task for us. And this is another lesson which Swami always says. We have always group pictures with Swami after the event. And he has these group pictures with many groups. And Swami never leaves any opportunity to drive home the point. Swami will stand here or here, only the group of boys come and go. Swami tells, Swami is permanent, you come and go, Ra, he'll tell us. Now, we may see that at the surface, we are a bunch of boys coming, taking picture, that is it. But the point what Swami, these are all the things, when I look back at my diaries, I really see a lot of value, lot of message now. Probably it didn't make any sense then to me. But Swami, it was because he put us in perfect Maya, where we took Swami for granted. 2 hours, 3 hours every day he used to spend time. And what else we would like to have in life. But then he has put us in proper Maya, and now it is very difficult to come in terms with that. But this is a lesson where Swami is permanent. He tells Swami is permanent. We come and go. This is another very important lesson he had taught me and made a lot of sense. Probably I would have shared this lesson, this experience in some of the talks I had with the Balvikas Gurus. I guess it might be a repetition for some of you. But this is very, very special and very important event for me. There's a boy who was recording the entire event. And unfortunately, I don't have to show how the entire event went on, but I would love to narrate. Here I am. After graduating from Swami's school, every year, twice or thrice, I used to go to Puttaparthi and do seva for 10 days. You all know that Swami's Mandir, most of the administration side is run by state offices. Each state takes the responsibility of doing seva in Puttaparthi for 10 days or 30 days. So each center will get a week or 2 weeks to stay in Puttaparthi and do the seva. So I was as a sevadal, you could see the scarf on me, and I'm sitting here, and Swami used to, this is a place where now the current Yajur Mandir is built. But then that time this was all the lawn, and Swami was staying in this side of it is Purnachandra Auditorium, where Swami comes out of the Purnachandra Auditorium. This was the first time after graduating from Swami's school I was doing seva. He came to me, he asked, what are you doing here? What can I answer? What am I doing? I have a scarf. I am a sevadal there. And Swami comes, what are you doing? I can't, there is something behind that. I can't say, Swami, I'm doing seva, I'm a sevadal. That is very obvious. But there is some other message in that. He asked, what are you doing here? Second time, and sometimes it is better to be mute with Swami, because if I open my mouth, I'm sure I'll get in trouble. So third time he asked, what are you doing here? His voice is stern here. By then I was really shaking. I was shivering. I was just folding and no response. Then what Swami did was, there's a path, I don't know if it is visible, between me and this boy there is a path which goes to the stupam. You all have, you can visualize what I'm saying. There is a Sarvadharma stupam which is about 50 feet or so. Around the Sarvadharma stupam there is a small pond. And in that pond there is lot of aquatic life. They're really enjoying their presence in that small little pond where they get a lot of attention from Swami. They have darshan, Swami's darshan day in and day out. Sometimes Swami gets into the lawn and he spends some time. It is very rare that Swami goes around in the lawn, but every time when Swami walks here on this path, his eyes are always on the stupam and the water. So he took me there. No, he didn't actually take me. When he walked up until this place, he looked back, he turned back and he told, come with me. I mean, Natodira. So I quickly got up and this boy was actually coming behind to record. Swami told, Akada agu, meaning just stop there. So this is about maybe about 10-15 steps we have to walk. I was really scared because he asked me, Em chestunnavu. His voice was really stern. In my mind, I was very clear something is coming here. So I better be careful. That shivering was still on. It didn't really come down. So he walked me all the way up till the stupam. And Swami, after going near the stupam, that video when I see, I really get really emotional how Swami really touches every single heart, be it animate or inanimate. Swami went close to the pond. He nicely lifted his robe like this and he was standing there. Within split second, 2 fishes jumped out of the pond, fell on Swami's feet and left their life. Instantaneously. Swami told, Idira Bhakti ante. Okka anuvu unna chalu. Meaning, he told when he went close to the pond, and imagine how many of us would get that kind of happy ending. Certainly not. At least humans, they have so much baggage to give before we shed the body. Oh, I didn't do this, I didn't do that, I could have had this, I could have had that. All this kind of baggage will never go in our mind. I guess that's by default we have that baggage, but Swami is here to help us make it light. And it is up to us. He has given the required tools and techniques for us to use. And he has been telling day in and day out in many discourses how to make the luggage less. And he has put the pudding in front of us and it is our job to eat. If we don't eat, we cannot experience it. And if just have the pudding in front of us and look at it, we cannot really experience it. We have to jump into it and eat it. Then we can experience. Likewise, Swami's teachings, unless until we practice them, we will not get the benefit of it. I think that is one lesson where when he told, Okka anuvunna saripotundra, even if you have an iota of devotion, Swami will come to you. Just imagine this small fishes, what a merit for them in their life. Swami stood there, these 2 fishes, to my surprise, they jumped straight onto his feet and left. That's the end of it. And the biggest lesson he's telling, that small, even an iota of devotion, we can strike a chord in Swami's heart. There could be no other lesson. I think that was a big lesson for me. That is where when I came back again, after Swami finishing that, he has to go for darshan. I came back to my position. I was literally in tears. He asked me, Emi chestunnavu? That it made sense to me. In the beginning, he asked me, what are you doing? What am I doing? What am I doing? I'm doing nothing, which means a long way to go, miles to go before I sleep, miles to go before I sleep. I think that is the lesson which I forgot, and he reminded that I have to be focused, and no matter what it is, I have to work hard to win Swami's grace. It is not that easy. It won't just fall for us. You all might be wondering, what is this? Can I ask some SSC students? Google Map. And of course, we all are pretty comfortable with these maps, right? Google Map. But can you more spot which area is this? Oh, Bangalore, somebody told, very smart. Yes. Now this is where Swami's ashram is, Trai Brundavan. That is Swami's ashram. And this is a closer picture. The Swami's ashram in Trai Brundavan inside, I don't know, some of you must have seen the landscape of Trai Brundavan inside. But if you have not got the chance to see the Trai Brundavan inside, this is how the Trai Brundavan, the residence of Swami in Bangalore, Whitefield, is something like this. It's a circular building. Nice building, and this is a picture which was taken during daytime, I guess. There was a lawn still not shown up here clearly, but there's nice landscaping done inside. And this is the front side of the Trai Brundavan. Swami early morning comes through this door. Some of the boys will sit here, and Swami will come interact with the children and go out for the darshan hall. Now currently we have Sai Ramesh hall. Swami goes to Sai Ramesh hall. In the evening sometimes Swami calls few boys. Swami sits on the staircase. Can you imagine? Nice beautiful weather, birds are chirping, and Swami sits here and he calls boys, and we sit here, and that's the satsang, that's the study circle, that's the lessons for life we will be having. Swami will be talking about so many different things. Now when I look back, oh my God, now all these things are gone for life. And these things are making sense to me now. This is such a nice thing. And if you see this, this is a building where some of these people who got accommodation inside, there are few buildings here on this side of the ashram. There are some buildings where Swami gives accommodation to a few devotees. And those devotees have to go through this building to come to the Sai Ramesh hall. So that is how the building is laid out. And only few devotees, like I said, are allowed to go over, come behind the mandir, or from in front of the mandir to go to Sai Ramesh hall. And if you see, there is another door here. This is the main door, and this is a side door where Swami, after the darshan, he takes few people inside for the private audience. So this is the door Swami uses only to take people for a private audience. But the morning while coming out for darshan, he uses this door. So here, now, this is the current door, how it looks like current. But then it was in this form. Now they have expanded for Swami to maneuver himself. When I was studying in Vrindavan for a few years, Swami had given me a unique task to take care of one of his devotees. And this devotee's name is Dr. Chai, who is a physically and mentally challenged person. And Swami has special interest in him, and he assigns few students to take care of his needs. And Swami very clearly says that he is my guest, you need to take care of him. When he says take care of him, few boys from the hostel are given the task of feeding this person breakfast, lunch and dinner, and doing his laundry, taking care of his personal requirements, personal needs and things like that. This is a special task given for few identified boys apart from their regular jobs in the hostel. When I say regular jobs in the hostel, when I am studying, I used to have a variety of responsibilities spread over. I guess my brother would also understand here. In a hostel, it is something very... it's a place where you need to own some responsibility, you need to deliver it. That is how the facility runs. So I had this unique job, which is again monitored by Swami, so I might as well be very careful in delivering and rising up to Swami's expectations. Every time he asks, how is this gentleman doing? If I get any complaint from the gentleman, then I'm in real deep trouble with Swami. So I have to make sure that I am always on guard, on toes, and serving that person. And that person is mentally challenged. I don't know how he reacts. And I may tell to Swami when he asks, how is the gentleman? I may tell, yes, he is fine. But that person may tell Swami, your boys are not doing a good job. There may be things like that, but scenario. But here, I was given that unique task and I was delivering it very meticulously because I have to really get up early in the morning, do my own stuff, and get the breakfast ready. But breakfast will be ready by done or cooked by other people. I have to put it in a box, a tiffin box, and carry it. And while going, I have to, the reason why I'm showing this landscape of Prashanti Nilayam is to you all to give an idea how this landscape is. Once I come from the Ramesh Hall gate, now currently we have Ramesh Hall, but then it was no Ramesh Hall. But I used to come through the main gate and go around the building, either this way or from the front. So I used to have a challenge here. When I was going in the morning, every morning this is the challenge, and in the evening. Afternoon, absolutely no challenge when I go to deliver lunch for him. But in the morning when I go at around 7:45 or so, I have to feed this gentleman who stays the other side of the building. So I have to literally make a semicircle around the building. So one particular morning, one particular day, I don't recall when it was, but certainly it was during my exams time frame. I was in a rush that day. I have to feed this person, come back, and I had the most toughest exam that day. And as usual, not good job done from my end for preparing for the exam. All last minute job, last minute preparation and all those stuff. And we are not allowed to burn candle in the night to read extra hours. No way, 9 o'clock, lights are off, period, whatever be the case. 9:15 maximum, lights are off, you need to go to bed. If you're not prepared, that's problem there. So I got to be very, very much on top. I have to stay on top of my schedule, not to slip anywhere. So I am trying to deliver this breakfast. I'm in a rush. Now I was walking. I see a bunch of women coming from the other side. Now when the women are coming, we are not supposed to go in the same opposite direction. And Swami is there in this building that time. And when Swami is there, or even otherwise, when the ladies are coming, I cannot go on the other side. And I don't know till I go halfway through which way the ladies are coming, because they can come on either side. So either way, I'm in trouble. Only halfway through, I know that I'm safe. Then I'll realize I'm unsafe. And when I realize I'm unsafe, there's no point in return for me. It's too much to cover, and it's too late also. That day I went halfway through. I realized, not halfway through, little bit, I realized there are a few women coming. And no offense, women don't come quietly. So I realized, and I was standing here, didn't know what to do. And I'm facing this door, holding the breakfast in my hand. I was holding like this and standing against the door. And I was waiting for this ladies group to go past this area so that I can go run. I'm running short of time. I'm really in a rush. And these ladies are taking their own sweet time and, all that going on and on. I was just praying. I don't know what I was praying, but I was really, really not in a good mood, in the sense I was in a great rush. To my surprise, this door all of a sudden opens. I just lost my breath. I opened my jaw when I saw Swami standing there. He asked me, "Emi chestunavu?" Meaning, what are you doing? What am I doing here? I am supposed to deliver breakfast. I'm not doing that, but I'm standing here. Swami knows all this, but he also loves pulling the leg. He asked, "Emi chestunavu?" And he always nicely, tell, "Emi chestunavu dunnapota," he'll say. If anybody, for that matter, anybody calls me dunnapota, I'm really offended. Dunnapota is like buffalo. But Swami is so sweetly he calls, so sweet that we don't feel offended. I think that's another lesson I have to pick up. Like, if we talk sweet, we don't offend anybody. But, sometimes that sweetness is really, really difficult to exhibit. He asked me, "Emi chestunavu? What to do?" "Swami, I have to give breakfast," I told. "Then what are you doing here?" "Go and give." "Swami, I can't go." He asked why. Swami, ladies vastunara, I told. Swami, ladies are coming. Then immediate question, how do you know? If I tell them, if I tell Swami that I've seen, then he will really take me to task. Then he asked, ladies vastunara, I told. Etla telsu, meaning how do you know? Swami, I heard their bangles sound. They were all that noise was coming. So Swami told, Manchidi, Santosham. He liked that kind of, because Swami would certainly not entertain that kind of mingling with the opposite gender. And Swami liked that. And I was also very truthful to my answer there. And immediately he patted me, Manchidi, Santosham, and he told me, come inside. So what happens, nice advantage for me is, if I walk through the building, I can go to the other side just like that. It's a hallway, round hallway. I can go to the other side, and it is just, once I go the other side of the building, the gentleman's quarters are here. That particular apartment is here. So as I was walking through the main hall, like I said, this is a circular building. So there is, inner hall is also circular. As I was walking, I was holding the tiffin carrier on one hand, and Swami was walking. I was just walking behind, 2 steps behind Swami. And Swami is telling in Telugu, Baba cheptaru eppudu, always be careful. He told me twice. And he asked me, what does Swami say? Baba says, always be careful. So he told, Baba, so how do you spell Baba? B-A-B-A, I told. Always be careful. ABC of life, he told. He repeated that twice to me, and he came up to the end of the door and he told, go. I gave the food, I fed this gentleman, and I did everything, and now it's time for exam. That really, after feeding the food, I was happy when I was walking with Swami. That's a unique thing. I forgot everything, but after feeding food, breakfast to the gentleman, now the reality dawned on me. I have to write an exam which is really tough. And some of my lecturers are also really tough. They want the best to come out of us. They give marks in fractions. You can imagine the plight of us, 1/8 of a mark or 1/10 of a whole mark. So that is really challenging. So I have to do well in the exam. If I don't do well in the exam, I may be asked to leave the portals. And if I leave the portal, again I'm in trouble, because I come from Sathya Sai, a family or a center which has huge membership. If I go back from Swami's school, everybody will ask, what happened to you? Why did you come back? What is wrong with you? Is your son out of school? This kind of questions is difficult to handle. So anyways, long story short, I went to the examination hall. I was sitting there, don't know what to do. I was just praying Swami to help me or do something so that I could do good job. Suddenly, all of a sudden, I was recollecting the conversation I had with Swami. Baba says, always be careful. He also told the spelling Baba, B-A-B-A. Always be careful, A-B-C. He repeated twice, B-A-B-A, A-B-C. That's it. I got a clue from there. It was I had multiple choice. I just picked B-A, B-A, A-B-C in that order. Nothing else. I got full credit there, and of course, it was a test where that made a lot of difference. And the lecturer who was handling this subject was dumbfounded. How did you get? Because it's supposed to be a toughest paper. But then that evening, Swami calls all the boys inside the Thrai Vrindavan. Examination time, Swami is really, there's so many lessons we have to learn from Swami. It's like, when the child comes home, we ask the parents, as a parent, how did you do your exam? What kind of questions you got? What is your next exam? How are you preparing? Do you have some issues? Oh, incredible. The way Swami asks us, what is your exam? How did you do? You didn't do this, you didn't do that. He'll be evaluating our scripts. Then and there, he'll be giving an overview. Okay, you won't get an outstanding grade, you get A. Very randomly he'll be telling, but at the same time he'll be giving us tips how to face an exam and all the stuff. And it was my turn. He asked me, how did you write the exam. I was just about to open my mouth. Swami, I was just about to tell Swami, Mire Chepperu. Meaning, Swami, you yourself told me everything. So the moment I was just about to open my mouth, Swami realized that I'm going to spill the beans. He told, shh, keep quiet. He didn't let me complete that sentence. Then he quickly went to the other boy. Had I told that secret behind, that probably the dynamics of discussion would be completely different in that hall. And Swami is also very quick. He told, shh, keep quiet. Then he went to the other boy and he asked, how did you do? He knew what happened, and I knew what happened that day. Then after the exams, Swami had, it's time for him to go to Prashanti Nilayam. And that time Swami always gives a chance to talk to a few boys, and that time I had the unique opportunity to talk to Swami. That time he told, Chudu Bangaru, Swami Pani Nuj, Swami, you do Swami's work, Swami will do your work. He told in Telugu that nu Swami Pani chey, Swami nee Pani chestaru. You do Swami's job. So I think he paid the reward here. It is very clear, if we do Swami's work, Swami will certainly do our work, provided we put some human effort. Here, as far as the preparation for the exam was none, but certainly I could strike a chord in Swami's heart with the kind of seva I was doing, because handling this gentleman was not an easy task, because sometimes I give him hot breakfast. That breakfast, I serve it on the plate, and in split second that breakfast comes flying on my face, it will fall on my shirt. It's a hot. You can imagine hot tea coming and falling on your white shirt. And I nicely dress up in white and white, because I have to go back straight to college from there. And if my shirt is stained, there is no other dress for me. I have to wash myself. I didn't have the luxury of having a laundry like we have here. I have to literally, and that food stains don't go that fast. All that I had was a small cake of detergent, which I have to rub and scrub and rub and scrub, and the shirt will tear finally. It was that kind of thing, but Swami's love is unfathomable. We just cannot measure his love. So he had made it very clear that you take the first step, the rest of the steps, all the rest of the steps he will take for us. But the first step, I think we have to we have to move mountains even to take that first step. But it's not that easy. And some of you, if you have seen Prashanti Nilayam now, it looks something different. This is the landscape of Prashanti Nilayam back then. Little bit of development here, and this was the landscape of Prashanti Nilayam before the Sai Kulwant Hall was built. It was open. Like I said, when my parents began to visit Swami, it was early 60s or mid 60s, around that time, and the landscape of Puttaparthi was something different. And here is my father. One time he was giving an Harti to Swami, and this was in Anantapur, where Anantapur building was constructed and inaugurated I don't recall which year was this. But then this was the occasion where Swami was taking the Harti, was blessing. At this point of time, Swami told my father, bring your family to Puttaparthi. Before that, I would like to just go back and tell you a little bit, if you could turn it off. When my father first saw Swami, it was a unique experience for him. Like I said, my father, we come from a small township called BHL in Hyderabad. And my father was an employee in that organization. And Swami was scheduled to inaugurate some parts of the factory or the machinery. And Swami was scheduled to visit that premises the particular day. And all the staff members, all the employees of the factory was asked to stand on either side of the road and greet Swami as he comes. So as Swami came into the campus, all the employees, all the staff members are standing on either side of the road and greeting Swami. And Swami went past where my father was standing, and all of a sudden his car, his convoy stopped, and he came back and he rolled down the window and told my father to come to Puttaparthi. That was the first interaction. Till then, we didn't know who this frame in 5 foot 3 inches was, and we did not realize that he's going to be the source of light for the remaining life for all of us here. Then my father had to really find who this person and where he lives and stays. Unfortunately, there was no Google then, and there's no free flow of information. You have to literally struggle to gather information. Finally, got some information where Swami is coming from and all that. And he went to Puttaparthi. The moment he went to Puttaparthi, I don't know what transpired between him and Swami. He suddenly got glued to that frame. And mind you, every time he used to go to Puttaparthi, spend weeks and weeks and weeks at a stretch, unless until Swami asked him to go back. So he used to go there and stay and serve, have his darshan or whatever, and stay there till Swami gives his command to take leave for now. That was the practice. And my parents came to this colony in the beginning, when the colony was under construction. You know how when a new colony or a new community is developing, there's a lot of construction going on. And my parents were very young that time. They were newly wedded, and my mother is pretty new to that community, and she hails from a village, and she's quite new into that community, and she was never exposed to a city lifestyle. And with this kind of background, there's my older brother, and my father used to go to Puttaparthi and spend weeks and weeks, leaving my mother and my older brother at home. And you can imagine person not signing his timesheets, there's no pay. There's no paycheck coming home, because 2 weeks, 3 weeks is spending in Puttaparthi, there's no paycheck. How do we run the family? So there's always a constant battle between my parents that, you go and sit there, who will run the family? I have to run the family. There's always a friction between parents. Like, my mother was not glued to Swami that time. And subsequently, it was the happiest moment for them that they are expecting me. And as you all know, they have a second baby in their family, and that too boy. It was really, really good news for them. And as usual, my father always, he spends his time in Puttaparthi. And when I was born, they were really, really happy. And as time unfolded, my mother was feeling something really, really wrong with me. She was very unhappy for some reason or the other, and she was trying to tell my dad what is happening, but my dad was never bothered to listen to her. He's always glued to Swami. He used to go to Puttaparthi, spend his time, come back happily. Nothing really touches him, no worries. He's like a happy-go child kind of thing. And my mom always used to complain to him, like, I have this child, I'm having trouble. And they took me to doctor, and doctor declared that this child has some lifetime defects, which he cannot fix it. You have to live with it. That is the kind of judgment which the doctor gave. And he told, there's nothing I can medically do. And as a parent, they have to accept the truth, and they have to live with it. They have to be prepared to unfold the life with this kind of challenges, medical challenges which cannot be cured. And my father, like I said, he always enjoys the company with Swami. And more so, when the Anantapur campus was under construction, Swami used to take this group of Sevadal every day travel in a car or in a matador. Matador is a kind of a minivan, like 8-seater or 10-seater, whatever capacity it is. Swami used to travel with them for 2 hours or 3 hours from Puttaparthi to Anantapur campus. It was a long, nice drive, bumpy drive. It's like a roller coaster. Roads were not smooth like we have here. Certainly not. So good long drive both ways. And Swami, and no reason why these people are glued to Swami. They used to see umpty number of experiences, umpty number of miracles during that time they travel with Swami. I think there are so many miracles, it is very difficult to compile all that and share those experiences. But this is, my father also tells a lot of experiences, but this experience which I'm narrating is something really life to me. So my mother at one point, she was really very frustrated, and she told that she cannot take this kind of pain anymore. And he was pestering my dad, like, why don't you tell your Sai Baba, you tell Sai Baba is your God and he does so many miracles, why can't you go and talk to him, share this pain with him or share this issue with him. He might give you a solution. But my dad never used to carry that message to Swami, and my father used to tell Swami is God, he knows everything, I don't want to take this to him. That was the kind of mindset he was in. But my mother, like I said, she was not that much into it by then. There was always friction going back and forth, each throwing a tantrum at each other. But my father was just he was like a punching bag. He was just absorbing it. And finally, the pressure was building so much that even my father could not take it any longer. And the picture which I showed just now, this was really a time where after giving Harti, Swami told my father to bring the family to Puttaparthi. That time we were 2 children. After that we had another member in my family. I have one younger sister too. So we all, in total we are 3. So, but the time when Swami called us, we were 2 children. So Swami told, Nalugurni tiskonira, meaning all 4 of you come to Puttaparthi. And after this Aarti session, Swami came to my dad when they were coming back that evening to Puttaparthi. He stopped my father near the staircase and he told, "Ee bharya tittulu nen tiskolenu." Meaning, your wife, I cannot take all that, what is happening in the altar. You please bring them. So I guess my mother could not really take all that. She was really complaining and arguing and fighting with Swami in the altar, I guess. And probably that's what Swami had echoed. And finally we went to Puttaparthi. And my father told my mother that Swami had asked us to come to Puttaparthi. And my mother was really happy, and she felt that there is a solution coming. And she was very happy because by then, through my father, she had learned what Swami is, how Swami does miracles and all those stuff. So obviously there was an expectation set for my mother. So they went to Puttaparthi, and Swami's style is very unique. This moment he makes the world everything for us, and he makes us feel that Swami is for us and for nobody else. And next minute he will not even recognize, not even acknowledge us. He will pretend as if we are strangers to him. He has not seen us in his lifetime. That is very unique to Swami. So my parents sat in the darshan line. Swami comes where my father is sitting. Exactly just before where my father sits, he takes a U-turn. He never comes to my father, never acknowledges him, never greets him. So the ladies' side, of course, Swami would never go to on the mother's side and interact. 3 days passed, and my mother is really getting very nervous, very upset, because staying in Puttaparthi then was really a big challenge. We used to literally stay beneath a tree. Tree was our home. All these cooking utensils, everything will be makeshift kitchen will be there. and restrooms are open restrooms. We used to go to Chitravati area, and the life starts pretty early in the morning, about 3 o'clock or 3:30. We have to finish all our ablutions before the daylight dawns. Otherwise, it is really, really challenging to get ready and do our natural calls. So with the 2 children, and I'm a small baby, I can imagine how difficult to live under a tree and sleep there, do everything there. There's no roof on top of us. My mother could not really take all these things, and she told, well, let's go tomorrow. This is like, no more, I'm calling it quits. But my father told, why don't we wait? She told, there's no way I can wait any longer. Let's go. So they've decided to go, and that was the evening last darshan they had, and they were about to board the bus. Swami back then used to give balcony darshans in the afternoon when he goes from this corner to the other corner to have dinner or breakfast or whatever is the time frame. So that afternoon he spotted my father standing on the ground, and he told, Repu chustanu, he told, meaning Swami told, I'll see you tomorrow. So my father's joy knew no bounds. Then he came running to my mother and told that Swami would see us tomorrow, and which my mother also saw. So that is a good news. Otherwise my mother would not believe, you're telling all cock and bull stories, let's go now. But since she has seen that, she has believed, and she had no other option, but her expectations were still on. So next day morning he told to come at so and so time, like 10:30 or 11. And we are standing beneath a tree, and Swami called us inside with few other devotees, and Swami was talking to all the members in the room, barring my parents. He was talking every possible topic on spirituality. And my mother's restlessness started building slowly. She had some expectation. We have an appointment, we'll certainly be disappointed, in Swami's words. No appointment, no disappointment in life. Very simple. Swami, many times, that's another lesson which I picked up. You have an appointment, be sure to be disappointed in spiritual realm. Unless until you have that maturity and tools and techniques, so that then we can strike a chord in Swami's heart. Otherwise, be prepared for disappointment. Anything in life for that matter. So Swami was talking for hours and hours and hours there. And my mother was really, really getting restless. She didn't know what to do. Middle of the conversation, Swami walks up to my mother. I was a small baby sleeping on the shoulder, my mother's shoulder. Swami walks up to my mother and calls me Sai Sravan, Sai Sravan. And that's how he gave the name to me, Sai Sravan. I was sleeping, he comes, he pats me on my back, Sai Sravan, lay, meaning get up. Then who is this Sai Sravan? Then of course that's the name he gave. And I got up, I was sleeping then. He created vibhuti and he smeared on my face. And Swami went back and sat on his chair, and he was conversing. And now since I got up my sleep, I was on my mother's lap. And after a while, my mother's joy knew no bounds. Tears of joy are rolling down her cheeks. There is no explanation to it. She was really, really in a bliss. She knew what is happening. I was actually lying on her lap and playing with her chains or her sari. I was trying to grab her sari, play with the chain. A small baby, when you have in the lap, there does all the things. And my mother's joy knew no bounds. Absolutely, she was very, very blissful. She was in tears of joy. And interview is over. Swami told, go. That's about it. Then Swami stops. He tells that he has named him Sai Sravan. And of course, in the piece of paper, he gave my father the spelling, how to spell my name. That is a different thing. I would not love to go into that now. But that is the end of it. Swami has not spoken to my mother a single word. But Swami had done something very unique to her. She was very happy. And the two things which the doctor declared, I was medically challenged, medically unfit to be cured. I was born blind, which Swami cured, the moment he smeared ice, there's nothing else for my mother. She could really see the benefit, the joy she has when she was. I really get very emotional on this, but that is life Swami has given me. And the second thing is, I had no spine. I could not sit. If I am here physically standing, Swami, it is all your grace, nothing but your grace. Had I not been in Swami's fold, probably a big challenge for my parents. The rest of the life for my mother and for me is in dark. Nothing else. But Swami, this is where Swami's teaching, another teaching comes. Spirituality starts where science ends. The doctor has declared nothing else. Is a child born blind. And you can imagine Swami just fixing it. Now it's a great responsibility for me and my family, for my parents to pay back to Swami. There is no other words. Now when he touched, he gave that strength to me to sit. Because subsequently I was able to sit properly. And all this while I was lying flat on the ground. There is nothing else I could do. And this is a very unique in my life. And my mom, my parents, even today I feel that this is with Swami's grace. I need to resonate that come what may. I cannot forget Swami's grace. Otherwise, it would have been complete dark age for me. And this is, I am here, maybe just beginning of my college life. And I always, sometimes when I show this picture, of course, this picture is full picture Swami had signed. Swami mentioned at that point of time, "Ni kallu chala bagunaira," he told. I was in complete tears. So he is watching me day in and day out. There is nowhere I can take a step back. I think these are some lessons in my life which I picked up from Swami. And I thought this is a nice opportunity for me to share with you all. And I also thank Brother Sundar for making this event happen and having invited me. And that's all I would like to share. And I have few pictures I would like to show here. This is a very special picture for me in the sense we are standing for a group picture. And Swami was telling me something to do, because if you notice, everybody has the logo. It was only me that logo fell off somewhere. This is a lighter photo I'm sharing. Very unique picture for me. And he's asking me, Swami, Emaindra. So, very particular, Swami. In that rush also he's noticing all these things. Emaindra ni logo. Meaning, what happened to your logo? Then I was... Oops. And I was telling Swami, picture, see friend, look friend. See the plight. One Swami is trying to give attention to me. He's asking, he's very particular. I'm so focused for the picture, I'm not even looking at him. I'm telling Swami, picture, mundu chudandi Swami. That is the plight. But I'm just thought I'll make this moment a little lighter. And these are some very unique and special pictures and special moments I had with Swami. When I look back, they are really amazing. Now when I look back, I just can't imagine the courage I had to tell that. Sai Ram, and thank you for giving this opportunity one more time.
Thank you very much, Brother Sai Sravan, for reflecting on Swami's love this week when we are remembering his wonderful life. Brothers and sisters, if you can please join me in expressing gratitude to the family who is visiting us. Thank you very much.